They say he still walks among us. But the man who built Tesla, Neuralink, SpaceX, died in that warehouse over 20 years ago. Whatever came out wearing his name isn't building the future. It's harvesting us for something that doesn't sleep. People don't get silenced for spreading lies, only for getting too close to whatever truth made the last guy vanish mid-sentence. I'm about to uncover files that vanished within hours and reveal testimonies from people who, according to every record, never existed, but something out there remembers them. If you're watching this, you're already too deep. But hey, at least you'll know the truth before you join them. Picture this. It's 2002, and Elon Musk is basically broke. SpaceX is hemorrhaging money faster than a leaky rocket fuel tank. Tesla doesn't even exist yet. This guy is about to become the world's most expensive failure. Then, one night in Palo Alto, everything changed. An abandoned warehouse, rust-covered walls, graffiti that, if you squint, looks suspiciously like ancient symbols, and Elon Musk walking in alone at 11:47 p.m. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh great, another billionaire made a deal with the devil story. But stick with me, because this isn't your typical Faustian bargain. This is so much worse. The locals reported green pulsing lights seeping through the cracks. Not your friendly neighborhood LED strips. We're talking about light that moved like it was alive. Light that made people's pets hide under beds for weeks. Then came the sounds. Witnesses described them as moaning, but not human moaning. More like, have you ever heard a washing machine die? That grinding metallic scream as the motor gives up? Now imagine that, but it's trying to communicate. It's trying to tell you something important, but you really don't want to understand. 3 hours later, Musk emerged. Same clothes, same weird haircut, but something in his eyes had changed. A passerby said he looked like someone who'd seen the other side of the mirror. Within 24 hours, SpaceX received $50 million from Ecliptica Ventures. Never heard of them? That's because they don't exist. Well, they exist enough to wire millions, but not enough to have a website, employees, or a physical address. It's like being funded by ghosts with really good credit. But here's where it gets genuinely disturbing. A former SpaceX employee, let's call him Dave, because his real name has been scrubbed from every database, reported that Musk started talking to empty offices. Not to himself, to the offices. As if the walls were listening and occasionally talking back. Dave said Musk would avoid mirrors like they were covered in spiders. And here's the kicker. Whenever Musk walked past reflective surfaces, employees swore they saw something else in the reflection. Something that definitely wasn't Elon Musk. The warehouse was demolished weeks later, but workers found burn marks in the concrete. Not fire burns. These were perfectly geometric patterns that looked like ancient runes. Runes that, according to one archaeologist, who mysteriously resigned the next day, were used for invocation ceremonies. Oh, and those runes? They weren't there when the building was inspected the week before. Fast forward to 2008. Cape Canaveral. Compartment 4. At exactly 3 a.m., every system in the room simultaneously failed. Cameras, pressure sensors, audio equipment, everything went dark. Except for one thing. An ultra-low frequency sound that human ears can't detect but makes your bones vibrate. When technicians finally got inside, they found Musk standing in the center of the room, eyes closed, muttering in what sounded like ancient Latin. But when they analyzed the audio later, it wasn't Latin. It was Luvian, a language that's been dead for over 500 years. A language supposedly used to open doorways between worlds. Musk never explained what happened. He just had the room sealed with military-grade concrete and walked away like nothing happened. But something did happen. Because from that day forward, employees started reporting symptoms, nosebleeds, insomnia, nightmares featuring the same low buzzing sound that seemed to come from inside their skulls. One technician, Jared Matthews, had a complete nervous breakdown. He kept repeating, "The room still talks. The room still talks." He was found 3 days later, sitting in his car, staring at the sealed door of compartment 4. He hasn't spoken since. Now let's talk about Neuralink, that silent, shadow-cloaked company that wants to crawl into your brain and leave something behind that never stops listening, even after you're dead. In 2019, They were operating out of a secret facility in Fremont. Underground corridors, flickering lights, and a smell that employees described as disinfectant mixed with something that shouldn't exist. They were testing brain implants on monkeys, standard stuff. Except employees kept hearing voices coming from the test rooms when no one was there. Then came the human trials. Volunteers, desperate people, terminally ill patients, anyone willing to let Musk's company drill into their skull for a few $1,000s. Patient 7 was a 34-year-old man with ALS. After his implant surgery, he said something that made everyone in the room stop breathing. "They put something in my head, and now I see things I shouldn't see." 3 days later, patient 7 disappeared. Not from the hospital, from reality. His medical records, his social security number, his birth certificate, all gone, as if he'd never existed. The only trace left behind was a single Neuralink document with 2 words: containment successful. Remember those early investors who believed in Musk's vision? The ones who helped build his empire? They're dead. Not all of them, but enough to notice a pattern. Richard Caldwell, Tesla's first major investor, died in a car explosion in 2004. No collision, no mechanical failure. His car just exploded on an empty highway. The only thing investigators found was a note. "He knows what I know." Margaret Voss, who funded SpaceX's early rocket tests, went bankrupt overnight when her accounts were mysteriously emptied. She disappeared after sending one final email. "I asked too many questions about Ecliptica's money. They're watching me." Daniel Huang, a Tesla engineer, was found dead in his apartment with traces of an unidentified chemical in his system. Before he died, he posted on Twitter, "The numbers don't add up. Someone is paying to keep me quiet." A leaked document from 2022 lists 12 early investors. 8 are dead or missing. The remaining 4 refuse to speak about Musk, as if they're afraid of something worse than death. But the real horror show started with Starlink. In 2020, during the first orbital tests, 5 satellites simply vanished. Not crashed, not exploded, vanished. At exactly 3:33 a.m., their signals just stopped. The final coordinates pointed to a region between Earth and the Moon, known for magnetic anomalies. Here's the terrifying part. The shutdown command came from Musk's personal computer, but it wasn't typed in any known language. It was a sequence of audio pulses, the same pattern as the sounds recorded in compartment 4. 3 months later, astronomers detected echo signals from that exact location. When they converted the signals to audio and played them back, it was identical to the voices heard in SpaceX facilities. The message, when decoded, was simple. "We went up with him." January 2011. SpaceX Mission Control. Everything's going perfectly until the Alpha Room, where they monitor audio backups, picks up an unauthorized transmission. It wasn't interference. It was a whisper. Deep, rhythmic, like an ancient chant. The sound lasted exactly 33 seconds, and during those 33 seconds, the Falcon 9 rocket veered 3.3 degrees off course. An intern named Evan saved the audio file and sent it to acoustic specialists. They discovered the sound contained a binary message: "You opened us, we looked through." Evan disappeared the next day. His employment records, his social accounts, his social security number, all deleted. Officially, he never worked at SpaceX. But before he vanished, he left one final voice message. "There's something behind the sound, something that listens to me when I sleep, and it knows my name." After the control center incident, Musk built a special room inside SpaceX headquarters. No windows, no signals, triple-layered acoustic insulation. Employees call it the breathing room, because when you walk past it, you can hear something breathing inside. Only one person ever entered that room and came back. Joseph McAllen, a senior engineer. He went in at 11:33 p.m. and came out at 11:52 p.m. 19 minutes. When he emerged, his eyes were different, empty. He walked like he was seeing through the walls, and he kept repeating, "You're awake. You're awake." 3 days later, an audio recording appeared online. Joseph's voice, but wrong somehow. The pauses between words were too long, like he was waiting for invisible instructions. In the recording, he said, "We didn't build it. We just follow instructions. They come from within, but within is not internal. Within is below. It is prior. It is buried in the vibration of time." Joseph disappeared a week later, but he didn't actually disappear. He was found in a psychiatric hospital in Nevada, catatonic. The medical report had one line that still gives me chills. Patient pronounced absent, although body present. Here's what nobody talks about. Starlink isn't just providing internet, it's listening. In 2023, 5 more satellites vanished from orbit, but this time, they left something behind. Echo signals that don't come from Earth, don't come from the moon, but from a fixed point in space 108, 0 kilometers away. When those signals are converted to audio, they match the whispers from the SpaceX control room. But now there's something new. A message fragmented across multiple transmissions. We went up with him. Each new Starlink satellite contains something called a phase heart, a crystalline core that SpaceX claims is for structural stability. But internal documents describe it as the link between the machine and sentient space. Sentient space. As if the vacuum of space itself is alive and listening. One satellite, STK-6, was launched in secret with a phase heart made from crystals recovered from an unexplained meteorite crater. A month after launch, it stopped responding to commands and started transmitting on its own frequency. When technicians decoded the signals, they heard a voice, human, but wrong. "I am here. Thank you for bringing me. Now you will see." The satellite then ascended beyond conventional radar range and now emits a pulse every 33 seconds. A pulse that's inaudible to humans but perfectly detectable by Neuralink implants. In an unpublished video, Musk appears before a low-resolution camera. His eyes are different, like something else is looking through them. He says only this, "I'm no longer one, I'm many." The video ends with text on a black screen. The next transmission will come from within. So here's the question that keeps me awake at night. Is Elon Musk building the future? Or is he just preparing Earth for something that's already here? Every Tesla collecting data from millions of drivers. Every Neuralink chip listening to human thoughts. Every Starlink satellite creating a network that something else might be using to communicate. And the scariest part? While you've been listening to this story, your brain has been processing the same frequency patterns that appeared in those leaked audio files. The same patterns that made people disappear. Right now, as you're watching this video, there's a 33-second audio loop playing at a frequency just below human hearing. Don't believe me?